Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to do a little bit of a different part today. This one actually has a lot of curves, a lot of contours, and kind of wanted to show you guys a few things on how to dip this, because this part right here that we've got, we are going to be dipping inside of here and right there. And so a couple of things to just kind of look at is that we've got a very good dish right around in this area right here, as well as we've got a little bit of a dish right there. Now this normally isn't too bad. We could easily just go straight down, no big deal. But here's the kicker. If we just go straight down just like that, then we trap air right around in this area. And so no matter which way we kind of move it, even if we cocked it off to the side like this right here, because this actually has a curve inward right there on that, it's actually still going to trap air. So there's a couple of things that we want to do that the way that you dip this will directly affect how this comes out. And so kind of wanted to shoot a quick little video on how to dip something like this, because it's not going to be just your standard just in and out and you're good to go. It's not going to be just in and roll and you're good to go. You're actually going to be coming in with it and then coming down and then twisting it in all sorts of different directions to make sure that you release the air as it's going into this little pocket right here, as well as right in here, and getting it to flow very nicely right down in this area. So what we've got is, we've got, of course, this part right here. We've already prepped it out. We've already primered it, base coated it. We got mainly just a tan base coat on it. And what we're gonna be using is our wood grain. So this is gonna be the SWG 002 wood grain pattern. Now this is pretty much just a regular burl wood. Now it does have a more of a gold backing to it on the back of it, which isn't really a big deal, but it's what the customer wanted, so that's what we're going to be using. And so we're going to be using that film and dipping this part. So we already have this cut and ready to go for the part. And so as you can tell, for this part right here, we have plenty of room all the way around the entire part. Now the one thing to look at is that I did give myself a little bit of extra room just in case, so because I want to be able to flow down into here with having as least amount of stretch as possible. Now again, we already know that there's going to be stretch in this area no matter what. There's no way around that. But by giving us a little bit of extra, we can kind of help eliminate that some as we're going down into the water. So a couple of things to look at is as we're going down into the water, we want to go down like this. And so we'll start the water right there, come all the way down into it, and then continue on to about right in here. And then once we get to about right in here, we're actually going to change our angle as it's going down and move it like that. And so the reason is that the air can come in and then still come right back out. So if we're coming in like this, it can still get in these little areas right here. But as we come up into here, if we just keep going down with it, then it's going to trap air right in here. And so that's why as we're coming down with it, we actually need to twist it just like this to allow that air to come in and then come right back out of this top portion. So we're going to go ahead, get this in the water, and then get started with it. So here we go. Now again, on something like this, we're just going to lay it in there. 60 seconds on the water. Right now the water is sitting at 80 degrees, but anywhere between 80 to 90 degrees is going to be perfectly fine. So we'll pull our dividers in, move that over, set our dividers down, and so now we've got it locked in really good. Now we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some gloves on, and then we'll get started on dipping this. So you always want to make sure that you get a good wet pass over the entire film. And so now that our 60 seconds is up, we're going to grab our Liquid Concepts activator, spray one pass right over it like that. It'll wet it out really nice. It will have glass on top of the film, and then we'll take our part and go ahead and dip it. All right, so we'll check that. Everything looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold this like that, and then I'm just going to easily go right down into the water with it. Start right there. Come down into the water, let that flow into that. Come all the way down And then now that that's flowed into there, I'm slowly gonna move this back just like that while I'm still moving forward. And then that way, as we go down and into the water with it, it released all that air. So as you can see, whenever we were coming down into the water, we kicked it back, but we were still moving forward with it. And so that also really helped in allowing that air to come into here and escape back out. And so then that way we don't have any trapped air in any of these areas right in here, any of these areas right in here. Now again, we already knew that it was going to stretch in this area, and that's perfectly fine because we already knew that it was going to stretch in that area, because trying to get this much film to go down and across, there's always going to be stretch no matter what. But I think this film did excellent. It stretched really well going all the way down into it. As you can tell, we've got a very good pattern going all the way down in there, and of course we don't have any trapped air pockets. So just to kind of give you an idea, if we was to do this again and we wanted to go down just flat down in the water, one thing that you can see here is if we just go straight down just like that right there, that bubble that just popped out, that would be a big trapped air pocket that was somewhere around in that area that wouldn't allow the actual film to touch any of the part itself, which means that you're going to have a big air pocket right there. So then you have to come back and then black all that in, or do something to help prevent it, maybe even cutting a line, doing a second dip, something like that. But doing a method like this really helps out, because then even though you're twisting it and you're turning it, you're coming down and then you're also coming into the water with it as you're coming down. It helps to prevent any trapped air that's in these little sections like this. And this can really help you out, especially whenever you have any deep concave part that's like this. So I hope this has really helped you guys out. I know a lot of the times whenever we have weird objects like that, sometimes we have to go and think outside the box and pretty much do things like that, to where as you're going down, it's not just as simple as just straight down. It's going to be a down, turn, curve, twist it, whichever, but it gives you a better result in the end. So hopefully this has really helped you out. If you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips and tricks videos. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.